Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Our microphone is high. I guess that was me.
Probably to keep it away from the cat that has descended
Has just
here.
descended in. If you move your chair, there'll be a little
Which way?
problem. I'm going to move this down a little bit. How's everyone doing? I hope everybody is well. And I hope we are all taking necessary precautions. Be safe, be careful. That's all we can do. No need to panic as yet. We just gotta
Go sit down.
kind of follow what's happening and be alert.
Hello, everyone.
So today, I've decided I'm bringing out a couple of different decks, and one of them is kind of a cute little oracle deck I've had for a while called Goddess on the Go. And it's by Amy Sophia Marashinsky, who I also believe is responsible for a lot of other goddess decks, and art by Melissa Harris. And it's an A.G. Mueller deck, I believe. AGM. It's the publisher. And I'm just going to draw one for the collective today. It's just whatever the card says, just a line or two on the card. Let's see if it gives us some nice affirmative thing today to get us through what we're going through right now. Do you want to talk about the video we just did, Mr. O?
Yes, as everyone may remember, we had talked vaguely about doing. No, it wasn't that vaguely at all, was it? We thought we should do something about the coronavirus. And we talked about it for at least a week. We mentioned it. I think somebody gave us an idea that we never quite went with. You know who you are. But at any rate, it's been on our minds a lot. And now our state here in the States, Michigan, many of our situations have moved towards this kind of isolating and quarantining principle. I myself, who work in a public library, our library closed. We decided to do that late Friday. I wasn't at work that day. I was supposed to come in on Saturday, and they said, nope, don't come in. We're closed to the public till approximately April 6th. And staff is still going to come in and do some of the things they did. I have worked I can do, of course, without serving the public, but it feels odd. This is also happening with a number of other situations. The schools like that my granddaughter goes to, they have shut down. So it's pretty serious, although right now we're really limited in the amount of cases that are considered confirmed.
Well, we have 33 confirmed in Michigan so far. It rose quite a bit in the last couple of days. So if you just factor that in mind, I think that we're in it now. We're pretty much in it in this state. My situation is a bit different from his. Being an academic library, we're staying open to students who do not have internet or computers, and we're only open to our student community and faculty and staff. The university's open even though they're doing classes remotely. It is what it is at the moment, and I do have options, and a lot of employees have options to work from home. And so, I will be looking into that as I go in this week, and wow, so it's kind of crazy times. So to get us through this, I drew a couple of oracle cards. I'll talk about the other one in a minute, but my Goddess on the Go card for everybody is very nice. And it basically just says, I am loved by life. Nice affirmation for today. And also the next one is healing cards from Carolyn Miss, who's a medical intuitive. And the card I drew was, Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And on the back, I'll just show you the front of the card. And then on the back, they do have just a little bit more about the card. It says, mercy is a rare word, one hardly spoken. What are merciful actions? Not judging another, speaking with kind words, thinking compassionate thoughts about others. May acts of mercy come your way. And I think this is a nice affirmation, that we need to think kindly and compassionately to those who now are infected or have the virus. And that's what I have.
Hi, everybody, and I see we're joined by Am.
Okay,
Hi
is that
there.
the next person?
I don't know who was your last person.
Teresa Z.
Then I believe so.
Okay. And then is there somebody else? I think I've got everybody else.
I think we do.
So let me go over the list as I have it, and then we'll tell you what cards we're going to read with today. All right, let me see. Hang on a second, guys. It looks like Ranny got in the room first. Rainy. And then Balkis, then Masonic, Happy Tears, KC, Teresa Z, and Am. I believe that's the order as I have it. Did I miss anybody?
I don't think you did, Banshee.
Nope. Still early. I'm sure people will be coming in.
Okay, so I'll mention the decks
Josephine
I'm using
is
first.
here. I'll add Josephine to the
Hi,
list.
Josephine. And I'm going to be using several decks, including the Nefertari Tarot, which has that nice gilt side. That's the Judgment card. And I'm also going to use the Karma Tarot.
Oh, the big ones. You're lucky I didn't bring out the big deck I was going to bring out today, Mr.
And I was looking at the booklet that I have with it, which is the only actual information about the cards themselves. And they were actually printed, published in '83. They were based, Bridget Boline is the artist. She was at a kind of a hippie commune in the 70s. And her experience there in 76 to 78 created her inspirations for that deck. And then finally, I'm using, once again, I haven't used it in a little while, but the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. And these tend to have some alchemical symbols and some more esoterics. And it's a nice little design. I like it. Oddly colored, semi-naked human beings or humanoid. Is there a difference between human beings and humanoids? I don't know.
I am snuggling with the sassy cat who's joining us right now.
Yes, I stopped petting her for a while, so she got up and walked over to you.
Well, she seems to have a fur issue again. I know we've been brushing her lately, too. But anyway, all right, so my decks for today are going to be, I'm going to be using my everyday Witches Tarot again. And that's by Deborah Blake. And I know the artist's last name is Alba, but I can't remember her first name right now. Sorry. This one I'm going to have even more trouble with is my Pagan Cats Tarot because I forget who's done that one. But I kept that one today in honor of their birthday, which is this week. Cat's birthday. And finally, I have, well, I know Dorothy Morrison's the person who wrote the book. It's the Fairy Tale Tarot by Dorothy Morrison, and I'm not sure who the artist is on this one. I'm going to have to, I was looking for the book frantically. I don't know how the book got separated from the cards, but it did. So we'll be using this today. It's a very whimsical fairy tale deck, and I figure spring is coming, and we want to pick up our spirits a little bit with all this craziness going on. So those are the three decks I have, and then I'll be doing the Ciro Marchetti runes today. Not runes, Lenormand today again. And that's what we have, so we can get rolling. Anybody else show up that I missed? Violet Ann is here, I see. Anybody? Nope, and I got Josephine. So I add you onto the list, Violet Ann. All right. Let's roll with Ronnie. Ronnie, it's your question. Your turn. Oh, okay. How do you want to do that, Mr. O?
Okay, that's not a typo, right? Signing career, or did you mean singing career?
I think it's singing career. Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right.
Because there could be a signing career. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Well,
My deck?
yeah, I asked you that, which one it
Oh,
should be.
well, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to start with the Navigator's Tarot.
Do you want to do like 2 cards for each, like we've done a long time ago
Yes,
with
we'll
these
do that.
choices? Let's see
Right.
what we get.
So we're going to think about those two choices. It's always good to have a backup.
Absolutely. It's great if you are multi talented and you have a choice in career. Oh, don't you rip my beads. That would be very bad.
Well, I dropped the card that signifies foundation. So we were just
Four?
talking. You had Three of Pentacles.
Oh, the 3. That's right. Sorry.
Foundation. So
Foundation.
it sounds like you have a foundation because you have these choices.
Move along.
Move along.
Move along, cat. Move along. Give me room to shuffle.
Oh,
Well, we had, and I will just say, a difficult time with one of our cats last night when we were trying to film our coronavirus reading because we needed a lot of table space. And guess who doesn't usually give us a lot of table space?
Sunny.
Yeah. So we had some issues, but we resolved them and got through the reading.
And she's now moving the camera because she's rolled over in front of me and her
Oh,
weight
dear.
just pushes the camera aside.
And what a profound reading it was last night, wouldn't you say?
Could you go ahead and do that?
I will do that.
Yeah. It was. And watch for this video. I'm having a little bit of problems getting it uploaded because with some of the enhancements I made, I tried to do some dual camera stuff. It was a little more file intensive than I have done before for our YouTube channel. So it may take me a while to get it uploaded, but I'm hoping to get it uploaded later today. And I believe it's just called the Coronavirus Predictions, or it might be called TFT, Tarot for Today, Coronavirus Predictions. Okay, back to Ronnie's reading.
Well, software engineer was first, and then singing career was second.
Okay.
This is kind of interesting here. For software engineer, we have 2 reversed cards. We have the King of Wands reversed, and we have the Chariot reversed. For the singing career, we have the 3 of Swords, but it's reversed. And then we have the King of Swords upright. So it's kind of interesting. We have swords, in the part about the singing career, but it seems like they are in
Opera.
opera. They are in more of a positive mode than a negative mode, whereas the software engineer has some obstacles, I would say here. The King of Wands reversed. What do you think that indicates as far as pursuing a career as a software engineer?
Well, one of the thoughts I got as I pondered that was I thought, like, is there a possibility that somebody would say, excuse me, that maybe you're overqualified in some way, or that you don't have a particular skill set they really want? The Chariot reversed also looks too like they're going to be looking at people that they want to be super, super, super motivated, and maybe they're looking at you and they're not seeing that for whatever reasons that they don't see that with you.
Well,
But I got that sense of like maybe, or maybe there's a person there, there's a number of companies, but maybe some of your experience leads you to believe that their management decisions are stupid.
how does our second camera look now? Does the second camera look blurry to everybody?
Those may be internal things that we can't really control.
Well, I'm not sure if they moved something on there when it fell. We'll have to look into it later. Let us know. Well, I'll tell you what, Rainey, with the software engineer career, the way I'm looking at this is that, oh, hey, T, we'll add you to the list, is that it's not maybe the best move for you, or there's no movement there. It seems like it might be a career that could plateau out on you, or that also, I know what he's saying with the King of Wands there. I'm thinking too that, that, I don't know, it seems like it's not the right fit in some way.
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
And with the other career, the singing career is obviously a little more positive. Maybe you can put your heart more into that one. This Three of Swords, it just seems like since it's reversed, is talking about this as being, maybe healing for you to go this route. This is where you maybe really have a passion or, a certain energy that would be good for you, body, mind, and spirit. And the King of Swords, I don't know, that almost sounds like it's saying it's really a logical choice for you.
Yeah, it looks that way too. And I was going to say that as well about the reverse Three of Swords, that there's just something more bringing together with going back just briefly now to the King of Wands
Yeah, go
reversed
on.
under software engineer, and then combined with the Chariot, which was also reversed. I get the feeling like it's what you said a moment ago, sort of like just there's a non-fit going on there, and maybe people are going to look at you and say you don't really fit in there. Some of that could just be how they look at you in terms of your dedication, your motivation, as I mentioned.
Yeah, and I usually don't. I mean, when people, should I go into a singing career? Should I go into an acting career? I don't know you and your talents and what kind of obstacles you may face in that regard. I'm not going to say it's necessarily going to be easy from what I see here. There's work involved, but it sounds like this is something that really, seems logical or appropriate for you to pursue.
Well, when you have the potential to have more than one career and they're different, you keep one as a backup. And,
Yeah.
you pursue your dream if your dream is more of being a singer, but you keep your foot in the world over there. You work somewhere if you can, or part-time, or have your contacts, stay on
Or just
LinkedIn.
keep your knowledge up to date in that field in that field.
I thought that was sort of interesting what you said about some sense of a healing of self, but I feel it's maybe more generalized. It's more of a bringing together people and situations.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, you know
we got to
what?
do our
Am
Lenormand.
I sleeping on the job here? Did not even bring out my Lenormand for you.
And
I'm
Laura has
sorry.
shown up, so hi,
Oh, I'll put
Laura.
Laura on the list as well. Hey, Laura. Good to see you in the virtual world, that is. All right.
We know a group of women who go around to some of our
Oh,
local
yeah.
festivals,
Hospices and stuff.
and they also work in hospices too, and they do a singing thing in hospices that's healing, and sometimes they sing people as they are actually
They're dying,
doing the
so they're
dying.
soothing, they're soothing their transition through voice and song. It sounds very beautiful to me. What a
Yeah,
nice thing they do.
yeah, they're really wonderful folks too. I know. One of them recently, their husband has had a medical emergency, so we're sending all of our hopes for that recovery too. And if I could sing better, I would sing for that person's recovery.
Well, there's the anchor and there's the path or decision. And it's really kind of interesting to me that these two came up together. You obviously have decisions that you're trying to make, and then you have this anchor that wants to hold you in place where you're at. What I think this is trying to say, though, is that, you do have to think about anchors are also about security. And so you got to make sure you have some kind of safety net and security, like maybe Mr. O suggested, a backup plan. If you pursue this career in singing, whichever way you go, you need to make sure you have a backup plan and you are in a secure position to pursue that dream.
Is part of the indecision or the dichotomy is the fact that maybe with one of these decisions may take you away from a base you enjoy being in. Maybe it's your family base, your friends base, your life space now. The other one could secure you here, but it's not the one, that gives you the reach you're looking for. So there's also that sense of that. I may be feeling that. I don't know. That just, it still involves a choice because there are other factors more than just which one you should work at or which one will end up being the best one. There's also what you have to consider that's around you. And I think the anchor and the path
The path. Well, it's like the path or just
Yeah.
yeah.
sort of gives you those decisions, go or stay.
Yep. That's what we have for you. I hope that helps. And thanks for joining us again. Good luck, whatever you decide. I always say people should pursue their dreams. You have to love what you do. It's so important. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next person on our list, which is Balkis. Balkis, you are up. And then Masonic, Happy Tears, KC, Teresa, Am, Josephine, Violet Ann, E.T., and Laura.
And we have Balkis, general love.
All right, general love for next 2 months. Okay. Well, you may have to find them while social isolating.
It's possible that maybe there's too much light directed right here where the second camera is hitting, and maybe that's causing a little light diffusion. I think that could make some people feel...
It might be the way the light is from up there.
Might
I see it.
make some people feel... Because I'm looking at the screen there and I'm seeing like it's
Yes.
almost a white out there in a way. So
I have a feeling it's the light
that
position
could make
this
it look
time.
a little blurry. I did that because I thought we could use some light there where the cards are going to go. But guess what? That's where the cats go.
Yeah.
So I was wrong by a letter or two. Not card, cat.
Well, speaking of cats, I'm going to use my pagan cat tarot
It's
here.
okay, baby. You can stay there as long as you want.
She's a sweetie, and she doesn't move around quite as much as you know who.
Yes.
Who is asleep in the
treehouse.
the cat roost.
Cat Kaya. Yes, that's exactly right.
That's true. And we have a lot of sunshine out today. Beautiful day. And that's what people have to remember. Social isolation doesn't mean you have to be stuck indoors. Hey, Mother Nature's calling. Take a walk outdoors, get some air. You can stay away from people, but still, enjoy some of the benefits of being outdoors, because that, is good for your health as well. So, we can't be cooped up in gyms because that could be dangerous. Go outside and do some of the exercises,
Another list request.
Oh,
Hi, Dominic.
Hi, Dominic. I'll add you to the list. And I'll go over the list again after this next reading.
Okay, and I don't know where I'm going to cut them, so I'll try to do that over
You're
here.
in lockdown, yeah. Well, they say it will come to the U.S. There's probably no two ways around it. At this point in time, I am working, and I'm still working in a building that's open to some public. So I'm a little nervous, but I do have some options to work at home some of those days.
For the next 2 months.
Wow. Well, you want to talk about some of your up and down stuff here, Balkis. We have the Lovers reversed, but we also have the Page of Wands, the Knave of Wands, upright, and then we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. Well, I don't know. This is kind of interesting reading to me, Mr. O. May I start?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I see the Lovers reversed here, which is not a very positive sign. I mean, if you are currently in a relationship, and there could be some rocky periods here. If you are looking for someone right now, be careful out there. That's one thing I could say. I think something could possibly turn up because you do have this Page of Wands upright, so you might be starting something in regards to relationship or some news. Maybe, I don't know. You will talk to somebody who will talk about somebody you should meet, etc. So there's something happening there. And then there's this Four of Pentacles reversed. And I'm almost thinking in this case that the Four of Pentacles reversed might be saying, you're going to have to kind of loosen up a little bit and let go of some things in order to...
You have to give a little to get a little.
Ah.
I mean, if you're... I'm thinking like, okay, maybe you're going to have to up your game a little bit, or maybe you're going to have to consider, spending more on dates or trying to get towards dates. But I also think, too, that this provides that dichotomy of maybe making a vice choice over a virtue choice. Okay.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, so that's what we have here. I think that, yeah, this is basically what it's about. And the thing is, maybe still for the next 2 months, what it's trying to say is, your situation is still not where you want it to be because that lover's card is reversed.
Another thing, too,
Yeah.
does make it look like maybe instead you are giving too much and possibly thinking that's going to, bring something back. But
Yeah, be careful. Love is a two-way street. So do not put yourself out there for no return.
right, that's,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So be a little cautious. I think these 2 months, I'm a little wary about your love life. It's not going to be as satisfying as you would want, but maybe what this is indicating to me is by the end of that 2 month period, something might open up a little bit. There's going to be something you're going to find out and hear about. Whether it's going to amount to anything really more, how should I say, more like a real relationship is going to form out of this, I'm not sure.
Let's try Lenormand.
Yeah, we are definitely going to try Lenormand.
So I called a family relative member today, and they're older and they're being cared for by another family member relative, and the one who's caring for them thinks that the virus stuff is a hoax and is proceeding with their life as normal. And I'm telling the one who is older and being cared for, well, you may want to watch how close you get to them, keep them 3 to 6 feet away. But they kind of believe that too, that they don't believe it is a hoax, and so they're worried about their exposure.
Okay, for the Lenormand, I have the clover, which I drew first, and I have the five of, I'm sorry, the tree, which is the actually number 5 card, and it's the 7 of Hearts card in the regular deck. Basically, I think your luck, or because the clover is about luck and fate and everything is tied into you right now, Balkus. It sounds like more time and attention being spent on yourself, and there's a lot of luck around you maintaining your health and well-being. This is very positive for your own growth and physical wellness. So I think fate and luck is dictating taking care of yourself right now, according to
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
seeing.
what I'm feeling too. Is
And
the
family.
the message is more about doing what a lot of us are realizing we have to do. Hopefully, more younger folks too, because I'm not so sure they're getting that message that we have to all take care of ourselves, and that also means limiting how much exposure we're giving as well as getting from other people. So sometimes maybe this isn't a good time to start a new social scene. Things
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
interesting this is
Unfortunately,
popping up in the cards. So I would just say, see what comes these next 2 months, Balkus, but I'm not really thinking much is going to happen or develop towards later in that time period. And so that's what we have for you, Balkus. I wish I had better news. We're going to move on to Masonic. And after Masonic is going to be Happy Tears, KC, Teresa, Am, Josephine, Violet Ann, Esoterics, Laura, and Dominic.
all right, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Marcus.
Stay safe. I
And
think what people don't realize is just the real problem with this is the ability for hospitals to manage a huge amount of cases at one time. It's going to be very difficult, and bad decisions might have to be made about who lives or who dies. And I don't think we really realize that until it happens. And so we need to all be careful now to make sure those kind of scenarios do not happen. Because I think in Italy, they're getting fairly close to that right now.
Okay, I see your question, Masonic.
Wow. Well, we can see what the cards say about that, Masonic, but I think you should know what you're feeling about this. But let's see what the cards have to say about the situation. Do you want to use one of your decks for this?
Sure, let's go with Nefertari.
All right. Sorry to hear that about Michael.
Yeah, that is too bad.
Hey, Libra Cusp, welcome, welcome.
Hi, Libra Cus.
You will be added. We'll go over the list again after this reading. Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I think this is the safest place to be, depending, of course, where you are actually viewing us from. But virtual connecting is good in times like this.
All I want to do is find a big bag of donuts and eat them and eat them and eat them.
Yeah,
And
I know we have to be
I
careful
know it's so
of
wrong
that.
for me. But even 2 days ago, I decided, okay, you're just getting ready to start going to the gym again because it's spring and you want to lose some weight and look a little better. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't think we can actually.
No.
I'm very concerned about this. We're both in a risk group, in a couple of risk groups actually, maybe more because, not only am I, compromised lung-wise with asthma, but I have hypertension, which of course is another thing. They said people with hypertension are in a higher risk. So that would include young or old people. But of course, I'm assuming it would affect elderly with hypertension a little stronger than younger people who have more maybe immunity.
So what are your feelings? Are you just feeling sorry for him? I've drawn 3 cards.
Let's see what they are.
I have the 6 of Wands, and
Okay.
that's upright. I have the King of Swords.
Upright?
I know what I think about that.
Is that upright?
It is upright. And I have the 9 of Coins, or the 9 of Pentacles, reversed.
Wow.
And I think this is saying the King of Swords says you make the decision. You need to make the decision for yourself. I think part of that decision with the 9 of Coins, it really feels like this is not going to improve the quality of your life by doing that. It would actually probably make the quality of your life less. You may have less for you to enjoy. It's talking about resources being redistributed, I think. And I also think that with the 6 of Wands, though, it shows that there's a part of yourself that would feel good about being charitable in that respect. But I guess that's what I'm seeing is the dichotomy is the other part of you would feel like you've fundamentally changed some aspects of your life and now you may have some disbenefit from that. Banshee?
Well, this is a tough one for me, but you know what? I do see what he's talking about, the dichotomy there, because I do sense there is some, but I've almost been looking at this oppositely. In that I feel like the 9 of Pentacles reversed here. Yeah, it is about resources and money, but when it's upright, it's about somebody really enjoying life and their solitary existence. I almost feel like you might be feeling guilty about this in a way that, are you shutting this person out of your life because of, and at this crucial time, and should you be? I almost think that, maybe you realize, this aloneness or this feeling of, the self trumping this relationship is adding some guilt to you, in that regard. The other side of this says that, you really want to remain strong and you don't feel that necessarily that this is needed. That the victory is in that you are close to this person and you don't have to, seal it with a marriage to prove that necessarily. So I'm kind of seeing both sides of this here somehow. And you, like he said, I believe that in the middle is like the judge, and that's, you. You are the master of this decision, and you're the only one who can make this decision. You truly know how you feel about this person. And I'm going to just check the Lenormand here for some advice. I hate, I know it might sound like even we're copping out on, but we're not going to make this decision for you. Absolutely not. Do you see anything else there that might help?
Well, I had a thought when you were describing the situation in your question. And, this is the part of me, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm blunt. I'm just going to ask this. But does Michael have persons who are dependents on him? And if you did marry him, would his dependents become your dependents? I'm just asking that. I don't know if that's how it works or not. But,
yeah, that's a very good point. You have to weigh this to see what is the motivation of the marriage. Is it out of just love and it just wants to go down with, knowing that you were bonded together to that regard? I'm not sure. Or is there some financial possibility here?
A lot of people do marriages because it's the best and legal way, only legal way that they can actually help somebody.
Well, it's not going to be an easy decision for you,
And they've left a comment.
Oh, okay. Let's see. He has no
I see.
one.
Okay, but the one before that. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, you know
Okay,
what?
thank you.
Just to give you some more fuel to that, we got the cross card here, which is usually grief and grieving and just a lot of stress and sorrow. And I think you're feeling that now. And I don't know, news is involved. So it might be that this person just kind of has been springing this up on you. There might be some other further news about this person's condition, maybe, that might help you make the decision one way or another. That is a possibility as well. There's nothing beyond that I could say here. Do you see anything, you who don't read the Lenormand?
No, I don't really. I get the feeling like there's news and that it's about something happening. And when you were saying that, I thought, well, how fast is this news coming? So I just went and I looked at a card. I just pulled over and it was the Eight of Wands. So I think you're going to get some information really fast. I mean, maybe something will change the game or at least what it is you have to actually consider doing. What are the choices or decisions that you have to make? Your time frame may make it bumped up.
Yeah, in other words, I know they said this person has 6 months, but maybe that's going to even be subject to change. So
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
so sorry for the situation you're in, really. And that's just, it's a little bit unclear and muddled here for you, Masonic. I just don't see anything else on this.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, let me move on. I'm sorry as I move on. Happy Tears is up, and then KC. After KC will be Teresa, Am, Josephine, Violet Ann, Esoterics, Laura, Dominic, and Libra Cusp. We're in pretty good shape to get everybody in today. But remember, if you leave, we have to move you down the list when we call your name if you don't respond. That's happened quite a bit lately. So beware.
Yeah, he may not have much time.
Yeah, liver is not good. Brain is not good. A lot of times, breast cancer patients go through the same cycle where, it goes from their breast to their ovaries, if they still have it, to their liver or their spine. The spine seems to be the next really route it goes, and then up to the brain. And so when it starts hitting key organs like the liver and the brain, these are tough times. So take care of yourself too, Masonic. It's hard on the dying. It's hard on those that are left behind as well. And, you have to take care of yourself so you can be there for the person, as they need you.
We'll use mine for Happy Tears question.
Okay.
It's more like a yes or no, too.
Okay, let's do it as a yes/no. Okay, Happy, we got ya. I'm going to switch my deck to this one. Ooh.
There you go.
All right, I just wanted to give this a shuffle. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and what I'm seeing here in the chat is what we all need to do right now is just come together and be there for each other. All of this will pass. And it is great to see the way some people are coming together. I don't know if everybody has saw what's been going on in Italy as far as the people getting on their balconies and playing music and singing together from a distance as they social isolate. So there are things we can do to still be, to promote camaraderie, caring, and a positive environment going forward. Why are you so close to the mic? How did you do that? I'm just going to move it my way for a minute as I figure out what to do with her.
Don't push her.
I'm just a little bit. Just a little bit. There. Now I've got her where I want her.
Okay.
All right, Happy. So is that an ace there? That's the Ace of Swords. Okay, and what do we have? The Ace of
Cups.
Cups.
So you are leaning towards yes, as in yes, a big offer. It may not be super soon, but it may not be really long. You have two aces, that's your marker. It seems to involve maybe something a little bit poetical,
Creative.
Maybe it looks at the lessons of life kind of thing. Some good moments, just understanding life philosophy in a way, a little bit intuitiveness, how you feel about things.
I feel that, well, I just say it's yes, and when I look at that, that's the Page of Cups. It's kind of like you're going to get news
Artistic, I guess.
maybe, but I think you're just going to get news that's going to make you very happy. It's emotional satisfaction. It's something that maybe you've really been desiring in some way. So it could be a relationship. It could be, the beetle. Scarab. It could be
He wants to hold your
an
hand.
offer. Yow.
Oh, not that beetle.
You're silly. I think it's highly possible you might be onto something there, Happy. This kind of confirms what you're feeling.
Yeah, it looks pretty positive.
And I'm going to throw some Lenormand. And I'm watching the CAT so she doesn't move. All right. Well, I don't know. The key is, and there's the key. The key is the compass. So I don't know. Maybe, you have to start thinking about where is this offer coming from? What direction in your life are you expecting this from? I'm not sure, but I think it's saying that, where it's coming from is going to be very important for you.
The key opens doors, or the key opens a way to a different direction, or the key opens the way to how you orient yourself, how you find yourself and how you put yourself forward, where you see yourself at. It's like the key is to understanding yourself.
Yeah. So, good luck. I hope you get that
Good luck.
offer. Do let us know. That's
Yay for happy times. Happy
okay, so
tears.
happy tears. We're done. And hey, KC, you are up. And after KC is Teresa, MM, Josephine, Violet Ann, Esoterics, Laura, Dominic, and Libra Cusp.
All right.
You are welcome, Happy. So let's see, KC. I'm sure you're just typing away. So we even heard somebody on the Detroit Pistons basketball team got the virus from one of the teams they were playing. So that was pretty interesting news here as well. We'll give Casey another minute. And is there any other announcements we have, Mr. Oberon?
Just the usual. We'll be back again next Thursday. That'll be 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Also, next week, I guess we will hopefully be getting our monthly modality for the next turn of the sun into the next sign, the sign of Aries.
Yes.
So we hope to have that ready for you somewhere around a week from now, next Friday, next Saturday, something like that. And of course, that's our unique tarot reading with astrological modalities in mind. So it's kind of a different take. It sort of explains how different signs' energies will work in different ways on the basis of, what our cards are showing there, that kind of thing. And as always, you can just look on our Facebook page every day for a new card reading of every day. And that's at our Facebook TFT Tarot for today. And we're also on Twitter, which we will also mirror or highlight that card pulling too, and that's at TFT Tarot number 4 today, and that's Twitter.
So, Mr. O, I did have a question for you. You did say recently that you were going to have to work a Sunday at the end of this month, but that may not happen. You're going to have.
I guess not.
So we're not sure what the schedule will be because we might have had to postpone our last Sunday broadcast this month to 7 p.m. But because the library he works at is closed to the public, maybe they won't be open on Sundays and he'll be working a Monday through Friday shift. I guess we're going to have to see.
My guess would be that since the Sunday hours were generally overtime hours, they probably will not open, not to the public as we are doing with all our other hours. I guess it actually depends too, because right now we don't really know certain things. Like there was some talk about whether or not we might issue materials.
Last call for KC.
Drive up window, but we don't even know if we're going to do that. Yeah, I think we're going to have to move on. I guess KC fell asleep listening to us.
Oh no, that can't be.
It happens.
All right, so we are going to move on, and we'll move KC to the bottom in case he does come back. And Teresa, you are up. It's your turn, Teresa, if you're with us. And after Teresa will be Am, Josephine, Violet Ann, E.T., Laura, Dominic, Libra, Cusp, and then KC. Oh, no. So you're trying to find, did prayer work from baby? Uh-oh. Oh,
Oh, we're sorry.
we're sorry. Wait a second. KC has just chimed in. Do you see it anywhere?
No, I'm not.
It's really
seeing
odd
it.
that we can see that, KC, and not your question. Did you do it?
Unless you typed it in a long time
Yeah,
ago.
it's possible.
And that's why we asked for it again. I'm not sure. No, Kellyo, I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna
It's
go
really
real slow.
weird.
I'm so sorry about that.
Well, you know what, KC? If you let us get through this reading, we'll
We'll
put
just
you
stick
in
you
right
back in,
after. So that's what we'll do. And apologies for
Sorry about
that. But we'll take care of Teresa first since we have her question. That's really weird. I don't know that that's happened before, but you know, Mercury's still in the shadow, isn't it?
Yes. Okay, so how do we want to do that reading for Teresa?
Hang on. Oh, so the question is about the missing cat, right? Is that what you get?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if I understand the question, so if you could kind of.
Yeah. Do you want us to want to know if the cat is going to come back? Baby is going to come back, or
Ah.
oh, I see. To bring Freddie home. Okay, so you basically want to know if the prayer to baby, if the prayer to baby worked about bringing Freddie home. Because Freddie needs to go, huh? Well, I'm sorry about that.
Well, you prayed to baby to
Right.
help bring Freddie home.
Baby, oh no, baby died on 9/9. Right,
But
right.
that's who you prayed to. Yes.
Yes. I get it. I get it. So is baby the one that was 22? That's an awesome life for a cat. Very, very awesome. You know, it is very hard. Our cats have lived to 17,
But
18.
Freddie's 26.
What?
Go back and read it.
Wow.
Yes, Freddie probably should go home.
Wow, that is so awesome. I mean, you should be very proud that you have been such a good owner to your cats that they've had such long lives. Right there, don't you know, it is hard though. I understand you. It's hard to lose a friend and companion you've had for all of those years.
Go ahead and cut.
But know that you made a beautiful difference in their lives. And
Aw.
we've lost a lot of cats over the years, and we still keep adopting because we love them. And for the time we have them, we will shower them with as much love and affection as we can, and they of course give it right back. And we know someday we're going to lose them. They could lose us. I mean, I should count the next one. Only because you've been counting them all, probably. I should do a turn at that. And I want to use this deck next time. When I get it ready and warmed up. Wow. Yeah, you know, what are we going to do? These three cats are all the same age. They're all 6 years old this month, and one could go. I don't know how it'll affect the others when that happens. It's going to be very interesting.
Well, I guess the question revolves around the idea on whether or not baby is able to intercede somehow and help bring Freddie home. And I'm not exactly seeing that, but maybe it's sort of leaning towards no. But the other factors, okay, so that's your no part of the answer is you have this Ace of Wands, but you have the Ten of Swords upright, which is not a very great card. But you have the Empress, which is kind of a hopeful card. Do you want to start here?
This is kind of a tough one. What I'm getting out of this is that it's baby that passed, right? So it's Freddie that has to go, correct?
The question was about whether or not baby would
Right.
be able to intercede.
I feel that baby knows what's going on. I feel it because of this Ten of Swords. I feel that there's a nurturing energy coming off of baby, but for the other cat. But I feel that they're leaving it up to Freddie to make that decision and know when the time is right.
Well, I also get the feeling too that if it happens naturally, it's going to probably be more painful for Freddie even. That's what I'm sort of feeling, is like maybe it is a decision you have to decide that Freddie and baby can't make it happen on their own without pain, I think. And that even if there is beneficence behind all of that, the decision maybe is you may have to consider doing that before there's too much pain involved for Freddie, or only you can actually decide that. I mean, maybe you know what you feel about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that, sometimes, and it's a difficult decision to put a cat down or a dog or an animal that we love, but it may end up coming down to that in this case, that Freddie is just not going to go naturally. How many times I wanted my cats to go naturally, but sometimes when you wait too long, you're putting them through too much pain.
When we moved here just about 14 years ago, a little bit over 14 years ago, and we had 3 cats. We actually had 4 because we were kind of inherited another cat from somebody. And within the first several years, we had to put all 4 of them down. They were all older anyways, but they all started developing health problems that we could not help with. We tried to help them for a while. We tried to give them a couple of them intravenous therapy that they needed. But it was really hard for us. It was. And we had to let them go.
And we really felt it wasn't making that big a difference, that they were still getting worse. And so it comes a point where you have to make that decision. And, I sense there here, even though Freddie cannot, or baby cannot help right now, that baby is very, very nurturing and aware. They must have loved each other a lot, because I do see that there.
Well, and I get that out of the Empress, I think, too, unconditional love.
And here's what I got. Time. It's time. And I think what this is telling me is it's time to visit the vet.
Take that journey.
I'm so sorry for you. And but it looks as though that's what's going to have to be done.
I agree.
Well, and they will be back together soon. And, you could at least be at peace knowing that. And, be grateful for the time you've had with them and how much they meant to your life. And that's what we have for you, Teresa. And I hope that helps.
All right, you take care.
And take care, absolutely. And hey, KC, do you want to try typing that in again? At least our microphone's not dropping today.
Yes, there's no limpness in the microphone.
So, you're welcome, Teresa.
You're welcome. What is remembered lives.
Well, hi, Lisa. As always, you should hold your question and just ask to be added to the list. We'll put you down. And KC, okay, no.
That looks more like an editorial comment.
So yeah, if you just, did you type your question in again, KC? Because if so, we don't see it. It could be a sign that maybe the the
Yeah.
universe is saying no answers today for you.
Yeah, so why are you just hanging around?
Oh, the limpness comment. Let me see. So why don't I see that? I see
You're blocked. You're blocked.
how no, we can't be blocked because we're seeing his other comments.
We're not seeing that one.
This is so strange, KC. We have a lot of comments from Teresa. I'm going to keep looking. I see sure no hurry. wait, I see something else. Type the question now. This is very strange. Do we got to reload the page? Maybe we have to reload the page. All right, I'm going to try reloading my page and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that over here.
I'll be right back, everybody. This is the strangest thing.
Well, I see the question now, so we can
Do
just go
you?
ahead with it. Yes.
Okay, well.
And also, Gina Clean has dropped in.
Gina's here. Welcome, Gina. We'll add you. And hey, all right, hang on. I'm trying to get back to the channel.
Ah! I geeked out. Got it.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. And then I do see Gina as well. Just a few little glitches here today. Well, what would life be without that?
All right. And we are in our second hour. So let's focus and regroup and get through it. There you go.
Got it. So I thought I shuffled already, but I'll
Oh,
shuffle
okay,
again.
then I'll
no,
cut.
no, I got it. We'll do it again. I was just trying to break in these cards. It's been a while. All right. All right.
Well, how interesting. Because they're all reversed.
So much for a fairy tale happy ending.
The Seven of Swords reversed.
Okay.
And they're whimsical, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Judgment reversed. And then another seven, the Seven of Cups reversed. And I like
Yeah, I do see that blurriness.
how these things always seem to come in pairs. We get pairs of numbers in a lot of people's readings. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do that first, and I'm going to try to adjust that.
Oh, the light? Yeah, okay. Okay, well, the Seven of Cups reversed is basically about making decisions and choices, isn't it? And so I sense here, looking at that question again, just to be sure, going to happen romantically. Decisions and choices are critical here. And I don't know, that's Judgment reversed and the Seven of Swords reversed. I'm in a quandary, Mr. O.
Well, you know what? A part of me wants to go with the idea of the images on the whimsical cards. So, like, right now, when I'm looking at this
Sassy.
reverse judgment and I'm seeing this enchanted insectoid whispering into an ear, and I'm thinking, like, be careful what you say. Some of this may be that some of this is about having trust, having full trust. The judgment to me in this instance is also about having full trust. That be careful that you have confidence when you maybe are saying certain things. And so within the context of a relationship,
Yes.
it could mean that you really need to know where you stand more before you say certain things. Like you want to be sure what you can be sure of. Now with these two though, the
Yeah,
seven.
because we got two sevens.
So I don't recall exactly specifically how sevens energies work. It seems to me like they're sort of, specific in a certain way, like maybe just sort of completions of things in certain terms. But so what I'm thinking here is that it looks like ideas that are not totally yours, that maybe come through other sources, have to return to those other sources, that there's a karma involved in what it is you take, or there's a scale involved in what it is you take. You may have to return to, especially if it's in the nature of ideas or of things maybe that are just more about the heart or about emotional qualities. And I know this is really
As obtuse as you could get.
as obtuse as Oberon can
Well,
get.
I'm looking at that judgment card reversed, and I'm looking at that.
Big ear.
Yeah, well, I,
That's what I'm looking at.
I see that. But I'm thinking in terms of, these decisions and choices that you are going to make in this relationship, or, that this person is going to make, are really going to be kind of important and karmic in a way. And they're going to affect your life, I think, for some time, and your emotions and how you look at things. Is this the Seven of Swords, though? This is the
Yeah.
Seven of Swords.
Well, it
I
sounds like
like what you said about watching what you say and how you approach each other. I think that, I'm not sure which one of you this message is for, but I think one of you in particular, maybe has to be very careful. Some of the things they say sometimes can cut rather deeply and may have unintended consequences.
Well, I'm wondering too if like you're going to discover, or maybe you have discovered, that there is something that links you karmically. It's not necessarily like you
Yeah.
lived a past life together, but maybe there's something about your energies that do have a karma or some relationship between each other. I'm not sure, like I said, if it's past lives, but that there's some reason why this is happening now, and it may be that there's just a certain karmic lesson to learn. You may, Jenna, be added to the list.
I'll add you, Jenna. Welcome.
Okay.
And Gina, I took a 2-hour nap yesterday, so I hear you on the Rip Van Winkle thing. I was shocked. Well, let me do a Lenormand and see if anything more specific comes up. This was a very interesting grouping of cards. It kind of threw me a little bit, I have to say. The seven of, I don't know why. I always have, like I said, some issues with the 5 and the 7 of Swords when they come up in readings. And you'd think after all of these years they wouldn't throw me. But I think it coming with the other 7 and Judgment reversed is just like, what is going on there? Oh, wedding reception. Well, people are still celebrating during this time. That's good. Well, this is very interesting, Casey. I see a house, and I also see the ring. So I sense here, in more specific terms, without obtusity, that, there might be a live-in moving condition happening if it hasn't already. It's possible you will, get close enough where you may experiment with living together and becoming even a little bit closer because that ring is here.
Right. It sounds like some sort of commitment or plan to do that, to have an experience intertwined. Oh, how interesting. Okay. So I'm just
Wow.
thinking that maybe that is in the cards, as they say. The question really is that maybe there's a lot to explore there too. So it's like really just take as much time as you need to, because there's so much more to explore than just the possibility of having a life together. There may be something even deeper there. I'm not sure what the cards are telling me with that.
Well, the thing about husband marriage situation is that, that throws in a legal commitment as well as a commitment. And so, maybe a step in the process is living together first and doing something like that. What did you pull? Go ahead. Go ahead, tell him.
I pulled the moon reversed. So I get the feeling like, there's mysteries here.
I think there's
And they
things
may be
yet to
uncovered.
be revealed and be uncovered about each other, and they will come out, right? That's reversed.
Yeah,
so.
it sounds to me like mysteries will be uncovered. Because the nature of the cards just seems whimsical, I'm just going to say that maybe these are not bad mysteries. Maybe these are
No.
like charming mysteries. I don't know.
Every relationship has ups and downs, and communication things. I almost sense here some of, because you have the Seven of Swords reversed and you have the Seven of Cups, that maybe it's speaking about, some argumentative qualities, emotions. You might lock horns on occasion emotionally, maybe get a little hot.
Yeah, maybe there's just the sense that there's a match in certain levels of, normal aggressive behavior. Who wants to be more in charge? That kind of thing. So
Which is why I would be, concerned about, yes, taking it step by step and stage by stage at this point, because I think it's still too early. I almost wonder if it's too early for something like this, but I get the feeling that what the Lenormand is saying is this is the potential to lead this way. And that's what we have for you, Casey. I hope that helps. And hey, Am, you are up. And after Am is Josephine, Violet Ann, E.T., Laura, Dominic, Libra Cusp, Lisa W., and Gina, and then Jenna. And we are going to close the list with Jenna just to make sure we get everybody in today. So after Jenna, we are done. Because we are already in our last hour, but we can hang out a little bit longer. We got nowhere to go. It's not that we're quarantined, but we are laying low.
you're welcome, Kellyo.
Oh, you're welcome, Casey. Sorry I floundered there a little bit.
I hope they have more soap if you need it.
Well, believe me, I'm going to be washing my hands a lot at work. Well, according to the doctors, you really can't overdo it. This is really nothing to play with. Okay, well, I have a happy married life. All right. Did I go over the list? I did.
Is Am next?
Yeah.
All right.
They gave their question.
I saw it.
We'll use that one more time.
Did I already shuffle?
I don't recall, but you can shuffle
don't think I
again
did.
and cut because this is a yes, no, and I will count. My turn. Uh-oh. All right, Gina. See ya on Twitter. Take care.
Bye, Gina Clean.
All right, we'll go over the list again after this reading. Wowzers. Okay, Am, I think you're going to want to hear this. We do have an Ace of Pentacles reversed. We also have the Ace of Cups upright. Well, and look at here, if this doesn't look like a married couple. And it's the Two of Cups upright. So this sounds like your married life is going to be Very good. It sounds to me as though there's going to be a real closeness and a bonding with your significant other, and that you're going to share a lot of common interests and things and ideas. You're just going to really gel together.
Well, the answer definitely leans towards yes, fairly strongly. And then to me, the Two of Cups also represents the idea of harmony and timing in a relationship, that there's a harmoniousness that's implicit in your relationship. So I think that's really good. So I would say that the answer looks really positive.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't get a better combination. You maybe could, but the Two of Cups is just such a card of harmony and emotional harmony and satisfaction between, two individuals. So I think that looks very good, but let's see what the Lenormand adds. And remember, every relationship will have their ups and downs.
Yeah, it does seem good.
Well, it seems even better because you have the clover
Lucky.
and you have the dog. So let me just say that it seems to me that this person that you will marry is going to be somebody you consider, that you can consider a friend in the true sense of the word, not just the love of your life, but a friend. And you're going to be, it's
You will
very.
feel lucky that you have them.
Yeah, you will feel like you are so lucky that you found this person in your life, somebody that could be, so compatible and, that you are so in love with and yet will support you as a good friend would support you.
That's exactly what I get.
Wow.
So yeah, you couldn't have done much better.
Awesome cards today, Am. Really good vibes around you. That's what we have for today. And hey, Josephine, you are up. And now for everybody who wanted me to repeat the list, here it is. So after Josephine will be Violet Ann, Esoterics, Laura, Dominic, Libra Cusp, Lisa, Jenna, and we're done.
Alrighty.
You're very welcome. Well, the cards aren't perfect. They're just saying that the outlook looks really favorable right now. So best of luck to you, Am. How is my dating experience going to be like? So, Mr. O, do you want to pick a deck?
Okay. I'm going to go with the Karma Tarot.
Oh,
Since I
okay.
haven't used it this afternoon.
And I'm going to get the other Everyday Witch Tarot out for the next reading or two. We'll probably use that one again, though. Also, Jenna's counting down to her birthday, 5 days away. Well, mine is getting closer to being a month away. So I keep counting down as well. I guess I'm going to have to party hardy indoors by that point, the way things are going. But, I have everything I need to bake a nice cake for myself. So I can party in here. All right, let's see what we have for Josephine. One more shuffle. Can you get them or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is definitely an interesting combination of cards. We have the Six of Swords reversed. That is the Hierophant upright. And then we have the Five of Swords upright.
To me, it almost screams run.
know. I'm almost thinking this dating experience will be an eye opener. I think that, but the Six of Swords reversed in this case is.
Okay, you're right. I made a bad call on that one. That is sort of like saying, like, maybe you're sort of staying in place.
Slow down. Maybe
down.
it's saying slow down to a stop. I'm just wondering if this is about that person at all. It seems as though the person is going to be very conventional. That you're going to date and have a lot of conventional ideas of their expectations about a relationship. I hope this is making sense to you because that's what I'm seeing.
Well, it may just be casual dating. I don't know.
Well, it could be. It could be. And maybe that's it here too with the Five of Swords, not to expect too much out of this and to make sure that, wow, how do I want to say this? That, that they're not getting more out of this first date than you are, is the best way to say it.
I'm thinking of that Pat Benatar song, Love is a Battlefield.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I sort of don't feel like it's going to be a super great experience. I sort of feel it's going to be a very mixed experience because I'm sort of going to feel like there's different expectations maybe. And that's what the problem really is each of you may have different expectations. Hi, Jay.
Hey, Jay. I kind of closed the list with Jenna, but we'll see what happens because people come and go. I'll put you on the list just in case. The only problem is my pen is not writing now.
Oh, dear.
I have another pen. Yeah, I love Pat Benatar too. All right. Yeah. Well, okay, you're taking that tack like love is a battlefield, but I was also thinking that maybe, that somebody might be trying to take advantage of a situation on a date. And so
Sure.
be careful, and guard yourself and, only, say yes if you mean yes, say no if you mean no, and don't let people, try to coerce something out of you that you are not ready for.
I'll go with that.
And I'm going to do a Lenormand to see what else we get on that. Oh, well, this definitely kind of, looks like that kind of date. I hate to say it, Josephine. So maybe take your time with this right now and wait till the energies shift. It's just possible that the person you're going to meet and date right now could cause this kind of experience for you. That's like a magnifying glass.
Look closely.
Yes, and then I have the moon. And I think what he just said, look closely and be very careful, who you're willing to give your heart to. I think that because the moon sometimes has some romantic connotations to it about romance. So be very, very careful who you're willing to, give your heart to or even explore, giving your heart to on a date. Because, of course, first dates, no matter how infatuated you are with somebody, that has no time to decide this is the one.
Well, you know what? Everybody isn't immediately forthcoming about every aspect about themselves when they meet somebody, especially in the context of something that is possibly considered a date. But the thing is what I get here is that there is maybe something that you will want to know about at some point. To me, the moon always talks a little bit about hidden things. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means it's something that they're not necessarily going to be forthcoming about, at least initially. Maybe they will later. The classic example for me is that sometimes men who maybe have fathered children don't always want to talk about that to new women they may be dating because new women may not be interested in dating somebody who's a father or vice versa. So I'm just saying, look closely. There may be things that you'll want to know, and you may take time to find out those things.
Yeah, and I think when I see that, when you mention that, and I see the Six of Swords reversed again, I'm thinking you've got to take things slow, take them as they come, and take it slow to really unravel the mystery of who this person is and whether they really are right for you.
Star Pink, we're not sure if we can do you today. Our list is a little bit full. And Libra, we did not call you as of yet.
Hang in there, Libra. We're still working on it. Been a little slow here today, but we've had a couple of issues. You didn't miss your turn either, Jenna. So right now, that's what we have for you, Josephine. But check in on this again, maybe in another month, and let's see what's going on.
Or whenever.
So Violet Ann, you are up. And then after Violet Ann is Esoterics, Laura, Dominic, Libra, Lisa.
You're welcome,
Jenna,
Josephine.
and if we can get to Jay, but I just don't know about that either, Jay.
Want to switch?
Yes. Your deck is kind of large.
I'll go back to Nefertari for now. No, let me go.
You're welcome, Josephine.
Let me go to the. You got those. Yes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So we'll wait on Violet Ann's question.
So Violet Ann.
Well, we've had a few computer gaffes today for some reason.
I had to remove my beret because my head started to have a headache, and I felt like, why do I get a headache? And I don't wear the beret all the time, and now I feel better.
Okay, how's my love life looking for the rest of the month? All right.
Mostly by remote, like everyone else.
Yeah,
Hi,
I know.
sweetie.
Social isolation
Hi, sweetie.
doesn't do well for dates, I guess, in love life, really. Unless you are already with someone and you can, hunker down together.
Share your virus.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I do not mean to be so silly here. It's very serious.
And we are not silly when we do our coronavirus reading either.
Right. You're going to see a pretty stark side of us if you haven't seen it before. Go ahead and put them together.
Yep. Wow. I don't know what to say other than I think it's going to be slow.
Oh, dear. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Violet Ann.
Oh, my goodness.
But you have the Ten of Swords here. You also have the Magician. On the upside of things, we have the Magician card. And then we have Death Reversed. And see, Death Reversed to me indicates the slowness part of this whole thing. It's like kind of flatlined right now. It's going to go very, very slowly.
Did you have to take charge of things a little bit and maybe dispatch somebody? You know, because they really were, probably not
Has
good.
somebody hurt you in some way recently? Because I'm sensing that a little bit here. There's some disappointment and feelings of just being, if not taken advantage of, outright hurt by somebody's actions.
But you're in control.
Yeah, but what this is telling me is that the Magician card is saying, you are ready. You have prepared yourself for, getting out there, being ready to open your heart to somebody again. So I would say that, if this Ten of Swords thing is in the past, let it go. You are ready to move on. You are strong enough.
They did.
I see. Okay. So you are ready and you are strong enough to move on, but it's going to be slow. It's not going to happen right away for you.
Right,
so
it's
I'd
a
say
slow period.
Not the rest of this month.
No, I don't see so too. I sort of feel like it's not so much any regrets or anything emotional difficult. I don't see that. It's sort of like, get away from me.
Yeah,
creep,
yeah.
whatever. But it's a little bit stagnant waters, and it could be that just because in terms of everybody's social life, there's a big slowdown right now.
Yeah, so I think that there's just a lot of things we have to consider with the social climate right now and what's going on. to consider in this whole equation.
Lisa, we're not sure if we're getting around to any other readings. We may have taken our last reading
I mean, we on our list, because
list.
we still have a lot of names to go through.
We appreciate you liking and subscribing, though. Thank you very
And
much.
stick with us because we're on Thursdays and Sundays, and just try to get it. If you subscribe and put on your notifications, you'll be notified as soon as we go live.
Yeah,
And
we're in
that
our
way,
last half hour now. We probably have
Yeah.
about 6, 7 more readings.
you can get
do.
to the top of the list that way, like some smart people do.
I'm sorry about that, Violet Ann. That's interesting, but that's immediately what it felt like to me was like you had to give somebody the boot. Hold on a moment.
Okay. And look at this, Violet Ann. I have the whip. And I have a person card, a man or a partner. And so it seems to me, it's like you had to crack the whip. You had to crack the whip and move
The
them
action
on.
had to happen quickly.
Make them go. And I think that, to me, sometimes these are negative cards, but I feel that that was the right decision, maybe to save yourself from more, how should I say, 10 of Swords harm.
Thank you, Lisa. Try to come back again sometime.
And that's what we have for you, Violet Ann. I hope that helps.
Jenna wanted to know how far down the list they are.
Well, I'm going to go over the list right now, Jenna. So hang in there. Esoterics is up right now. And after Esoterics is Laura, Dominic, Libra, Lisa, Jenna, and Jay.
So you're about 5 down or so. You're welcome.
For this week. Okay, we will. Do you want to use your deck or mine again? You can
Yeah,
use
let's
mine.
go ahead and use that navigator.
Okay.
It's very esoteric.
It's very esoteric. Okay.
I think it is. There's the Queen of Cups
All right.
for you. Well, it's got the Tree of Life on the back. It's that whole
magical thing.
That whole magical thing. That's right.
And I have the Whimsical Witches Tarot.
I also like this deck because the unusual coloring scheme is kind of neat, but it has a keyword that I think is helpful, even though I know the cards. I like to sometimes let that keyword kind of soak in on me. A thing with the Tree of Life. I love it. Alrighty.
Let me shuffle. She was just passed out here. I was going to say you should get the cam, but as soon as you lifted it up, she would have woke up.
Well, you know what? She did move it away a little bit. It's kind of like
Yeah, I
that,
see it.
immovable object thing. Only what she usually bumps against is quite movable. And
So
she's
hopefully,
reaching
if
out.
all goes well and we can actually get that video downloaded, it will be up tonight, the coronavirus video that we did.
So check it out, like, share
It's
it.
a little bit longer.
It's about 40 minutes long, but we're pretty in depth on it.
Yeah. So we did not just throw a few cards for this one. And we
Happy
used,
birthday to all you Aries. I know a few people have mentioned your birthday's coming up, so happy birthday to all you Aries.
Mine is April
including
19th,
you.
and it's a Sunday, and you bet we'll be celebrating here.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! I'll be celebrating a week before that, too, so woohoo! There'll be me partying on every live stream.
Oh dear. Okay. This is kind of interesting.
That came up in your deck.
Yeah, I
Now,
know.
this is a love reading? No, this is just what's happening in
The
the next 7
energies,
days. Yes.
yeah.
Well, so we have the 10 of Swords upright. This is interesting that we have the Hermit reversed at this time. And then we have the Knight of Swords reversed. You go?
Well, the Ten of Swords, the keyword on this card is destitution, and of course the look is a little bit grim. Some people like to think of the Ten of Swords as really like the forces of evil winning. I like the idea of destitution because I think of this card more as the aftermath, is that the action already happened, and so it's what the feeling is there's a feeling of aloneness or a feeling of betrayal or a feeling of defeatedness. So that may be what's happening over the next week for you. That something brings those feelings to you. Let's look into that a little bit. Is it something to do with the reversed Knight of Swords? Its keyword is penetration. It's reversed. I typically think of the Knight of Swords as the trusting individual. Well, no, that's more the Wands. This is really something like more of a mover and shaker kind of personality. This is a person who's striving forth. But when they're reversed, maybe they're having some complications with that. Do you want to jump
Well,
in?
I don't know. This is really an interesting dilemma here. I'm sensing there could be movement in the wrong direction.
Hi, Amy V.
Amy V. Oh, hi, Amy. We have closed our list for today, though, but you're welcome to stay and watch the readings and join us next time. I would say that with the Hermit reversed, it's almost as if you really want to come out of your shell or your cave and do something, yet you got to be careful of the decisions you're making and the direction you're going in, and if it's really going to be the logical way to go. I think some decisions are going to be weighing heavily on you this week. And, you got to be careful here that you aren't setting yourself up for somebody to take advantage of you.
Mostly, you're not feeling it this next week. And this Hermit card reversed is saying normally you are that person that wants to radiate those messages and wants to live your wisdom and share your wisdom. And you're not feeling it this next week. You're sort of feeling an inward turn. You may be taking on too much the sense of defeat that's around you that is not necessarily personal.
Right.
But let's face it, a lot of us in this business, we're very empathic, and sometimes we shield better. Sometimes shielding doesn't always help us the way we want. Maybe that's what the Knight of Swords is saying, is that we're feeling a little bit too involved in some misery that's out there. It may not be personal or direct. I'm not so sure that I'm getting that. But we're feeling that, and so it's making our guard feel down a little bit.
Wow, you know what? I have to, how should I say this? Give my better half credit for this one because I think he's on the money. I hadn't thought about this in terms of, people who are empathic and people who may be doing readings also, and the kind of energy you might be picking up right now. This just may be a time because of everything that's going on right now where there's a lot of confusion and mixed signals and messages going on. And, we might be taking in too much energy, that's out there into ourselves, and we need to find a release for that.
We may not even be able to help that because it's so pervasive that, our shielding may just work so well, and there's just a little bit of a trickle in effect,
Wow,
little pinholes in there.
That is very interesting considering we pulled the swords, which I often think of surgery when I see the swords cards, So yeah, I do sense this could be taking a toll on you a little bit.
Let's do the Lenormand.
Well, you might want to wait till the energy's clear a little bit. I think Mercury's going to be out of the shadow after this week. Am I right? Or maybe it's already out, but it's close. Maybe another week it'd be out. You might want to, like I said,
it actually should
if
be
you
out,
can, delay it just a little bit.
You're like me, E.T. I tend to be too empathic at times. Sometimes I feel like that's why I can be so intuitive, because my shielding doesn't always stay up the way it should maybe. But I don't mind that. I mean, I like getting what I get. What you got?
So is your mother's surgery just a routine thing, I hope? I really hope. Well, the first card I drew, I'm just going to throw it out there, E.T., is the cross. And then I have the bouquet. So what I'm sensing here is that either you or possibly maybe this
routine.
Pardon me?
Routine.
Okay. Maybe this is your mother. I feel like you're going to be worried. There's going to be some worries here, and, some gift. Some gift is going to be given, or it's possible that somebody may give you a gift to cheer you up, sensing you're under a bit of stress right now. Routine or not, for somebody even to go in for surgery right now with everything going on in hospitals and infectious disease control and all of that, it's a little bit risky right now. So I
Some of those
sense,
things are
yeah.
contraindicators to the medicines or the process, so it's just that kind of thing too, is that it's okay to be stressed out because it's going to happen, but now may be a time where there's more of that because of what's going on.
I also sense that basically you might be, this may not have to do with your mother. This might be somebody else in your circle that that is going through some kind of grieving process right now, and you may have to cheer them up in some way. I sense that this isn't coming maybe so much to you as it might be you expressing this to somebody else in time of need, which maybe ties into these cards in some way. You're going to be taking on somebody's energy right now that's going through a difficult time.
Because that's what us healing folks tend to do.
Yeah. Well, we're there for that, but we got to make sure we take care of ourselves in the process.
Absolutely.
That's what we have for you right now, E.T. I hope
you.
this helped.
I hope that helped.
But I do think that, yeah, as far as it goes, this week is one to lay a little bit lower with your energy.
Best wishes.
All right, so I'm going to go through the list. We have Laura is up now, and then Dominic, Libra, Lisa, Jenna, and Jay. Jay is the last person we can read for tonight. I know we had a lot of people coming in after. I see Divine Universe is here. I see there was somebody else new, I think, that came in. Amy is here for listening, but there was somebody else. Maybe
Maribel.
Oh, Maribel. Welcome, Maribel, but unfortunately we won't be able to read with you, but feel free to listen.
Okay, I have Laura's question.
All right.
So I am vibrating to that.
Okay, we'll check that out, see what the cards say. Do you want to give them back to me to count again? You've done a couple counts today.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Divine.
Good to see you back, though.
And don't forget, everybody, check out Banshee's Soul Stories. She just released a really cool one.
Not that long ago.
Not that long ago, about Aunt Mary, Cindy the Cat, and the radioactive Jesus picture story.
I know it's a corny name, but there is a definite heartwarming story there that if you haven't seen it, check it out. But it's also a story that I like to think is a little bit about spirit communication. Sometimes we think that spirit doesn't hear us and that the people out there we can't talk to. But, even if you don't get those answers back as directly as you may, those answers may come. And this story kind of reveals that a little bit.
Alrighty. More stable and abundant phase.
It's leaning towards no, but I think there's maybe just some work that needs to be done. We have the Five of Cups upright, and then we have the Ace of Wands reversed. I'm not going to show that, but that's our placeholder card to tell us it's leaning towards no. And look, we have this penetration card again, which is the Knight of Swords. And the Five of Cups talks about dissipation, but to me, the Five of Cups, when it's upright, is about maybe some disappointments. There's been some disappointments that you've had in the way things have been going, and you don't realize maybe the value of what's still there and remains. So I think right now might be a time where you want to work on those things that are causing you disappointment. Why are you dwelling on them? Why are you thinking about things that have been lost to you or you feel you have lost? And maybe you ought to do an inventory and just do something that's the pros and cons of a particular situation. You were asking about more stable and abundant phase. So, what is it you need to let go of in order to open your life up to more abundance? And I'm thinking here it's the decisions that you are making and the choices you are making. You have to make more firm decisions that are in your best interests. In other words, if you've been, I don't know, if you have been whittling away your resources in frivolous ways, that now you feel like you don't have enough, you're not stable, what do you need to change in order to make that happen?
Well, I agree with you. Definitely with the Five of Cups, it's sort of like you're maybe lingering over some things that have happened that are gone now. To me, this card, the Knight of Swords, is saying move ahead.
Okay.
Pick a new course and move towards it. This is like you need to just find that undertaking or thing you need to focus your energies on and work on. You need a project, you need a situation, you need to do something, you need to move beyond whatever it was. So even
Oh,
though the answers sort of indicated no to your question, or maybe more likely no, I'm still thinking, like
you
Banshee
can
said
turn
earlier,
this
you can
around.
change this because this
Yes.
is just saying you need to find a focus and put your energy into that.
Yeah, I think that's very true here. And I think this Five of Cups, the way it is saying to me, and then you have this, as he said, is the Knight of Swords is kind of a move forward kind of card, that you're going to have to use logic over your heart and emotion on this one. In other words, you have to make the logical choices that will, make you more stable in your life. Because emotionally, maybe that's not working. You might get carried away and get into habits that aren't conducive to the things you need to do in your life. So I would say to you, use your logical brain over your emotions, what makes you happy. You have to do what's right for you on a more physical, logical sense than what's right for you on an emotional, happy sense. Sometimes we have to make decisions in our life that are just right for us. They may not totally make us happy, but they're the things we have to do to keep ourselves stable and solvent and, our finances in order. It's just what you have to do.
I agree. Let's pull a
Yep.
Lenormand. I'm doing the sassy cam.
Yeah, because we still got a few readings left, but we will go into overtime to finish up our list. Well, Sassy was looking very intently at these cards.
Yes, she was. Okay, lay
Well, I
down.
think what this is saying to me, because the bear, not only is the bear about personal empowerment, it can be about powerful, having a strong resource base as well. So, as far as abundance goes, this is also a very good card for money and finance. And I have the time card along with that. So, what I want to tell you is it's still going to take some time, but it's going to happen. You make good choices and it's going to happen.
Yes, despite the fact that it seemed to lean towards no, most of the other cards seem to indicate, the majority of the other cards seem to indicate that you're the one who makes the difference here because basically you just have to see yourself as empowered, as patient too, willing to realize that this is something you have to invest
You're
yourself
going to
in.
have to build it over time. It's not just going to happen like poof and it's there. So I think this is something you are going to have to actively work on now, now that this has come to light, and you can make it happen.
All right.
And that's what we have for you, Laura. Laura, right? Yep.
Yes, that was Laura.
Sorry.
So good luck, Laura, and thank you.
And thanks for joining us on this beautiful sunny Sunday, at least where we're at.
All right, who's
And hey,
next?
Dominic, you are up, and then Libra Cusp, Lisa, Jenna, and Jay.
Okay, a general reading for the week. Very much so. We can
You've
do
got
that.
it. Well, I think this is a very pivotal week for me in my work life. we'll just see what happens. Right now, I'm working. And after this week, I might be working, but at home. We'll just have to see. And maybe even some days this week I'll be working from home.
Thanks. Somebody said blessings. Thank you. That was Laura, I think.
Thank
right?
you much, Laura. Blessings to you as well. I know you can do this.
Well, at last the cat has moved away, more or less.
Sort of, but she's hooked into the tablecloth.
The tail of the cat.
Do I cut? Mm-hmm. You shuffled?
Yes.
All right, then.
So this is a general reading for the week.
For the week. Let's see what your week looks like, Dominic.
Ooh. I love the cards. They are colorful, although sometimes the messages may not be so colorful.
Yeah, this is kind of powerful stuff here, Dominic.
This is powerful, Dominic. You have the tower reversed. So this is saying something about fundamental lessons, fundamental things that challenge your being, make you relook at yourself, rethink things about yourself. You also have the King of Pentacles reversed. And to me, that could be talking about how well you're handling things from a
Material,
management kind
financial,
of level, a material level.
And management, yeah.
But you have this strong card of transformation. That card is known as Death, the Death card. It really talks about things that are stronger, overwhelming forces within your being. They don't talk about physical death, really.
Well, clearly, I think from these cards, what it's saying is this week could be a period of radical change for you, or that maybe you're going to realize that some radical changes are necessary. And I think that's because of the Tower card here, but I'm a little concerned, Dominic, because the Tower card is reversed here, and this is one of those situations where I'd rather see, I think, the card upright than reversed, because what it's saying is, what is it going to take to make you realize, what is it going to take to get you out of a cycle that you keep repeating, where maybe you have encountered some failure in the material realm or in the way you manage things, if you are a business person, or you're a manager at work. What is it going to take to make you get out of this cycle? Well, it seems to me you're going to realize you have to really think outside the box. It's time for some radical changes to happen. And maybe this is the week you will start that, or maybe this is the week that you will really be contemplating this.
I'm just getting one of my little flashes, so
Okay.
I feel like I blurt them out. I am wondering if you, in your career or in your work, are in charge of other people, or you have to make decisions for other people. And I'm wondering if this is the week where you maybe have to let some people go or make certain decisions. It may be based on what's happening with
Careful.
all of this crisis management that's going on with the virus or something. But I get the feeling you're being put out there as somebody that's going to have to kind of be the front person for some big changes that maybe are occurring in the workplace. Something like that.
Yeah, with everything going on right now, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow some of this stuff that's going on with this virus will affect what you are doing in some way. And it could be a shock. It could put you into a pattern of, some negative patterns may surface because of this. This could also maybe indicate that some people haven't figured out how to handle the situation.
Right. If you have responsibilities with people, or if you work on teams with people, and then you're going to have people who are recalcitrant, or people who are in denial, or people who are resistant, change resistors. This happens a lot in the medical industry, but it happens in a lot of other industries too. So you may have a lot to deal with that. And I sort of get the feeling, though, that to some degree you're going to be able to handle it. It's just going to be an ongoing process. However this is playing out. What do you got?
Well, the first card I drew was the dog. And the second card I drew is the bridge. And I get the feeling here that, some advice from somebody you trust or you feel really good about will help you through this period. I also feel too that this could be telling me that it's possible that somebody close to you that maybe you had a falling out with will make amends in some way. There will be a bridge in a friendship or relationship that will bring you together with somebody. Some situation, related to all this is going to bring you together with somebody and make amends. What do you feel when you
Right.
see
I
these
don't
two?
know the Lenormand, but I get the feeling that the dog
Oh.
always represents a version of loyalty. So I think Banshee's right that this may be talking about somebody in your life or somebody coming back to your life who represents that kind of energy, a loyal person. And maybe the bridge is the idea of making that connection coming back. So because this isn't about the workplace,
Right.
that's what Dominic
Yeah, I
is
read
saying.
that right now.
Then I'm thinking it's about other strong decisions
You have to make for your financial well-being or
because the coins does
material
take it into
matters.
that. So
This might relate to material matters in some way. The other potential exists that it could relate to your health, as well, because I feel that the King of Pentacles, just Pentacles in general, can be a card that relates to our bodies and our health. And so, you're going to have to be careful that the things that you do, you might be making changes in regards to the way you're living your life right now, as we all must.
right, gotta hang in there. There are lessons plenty to learn, and
Yeah, and I sense here, that's going to be the challenge is,
loyalty though, help friends, things that reconnect you.
right. And I think the challenge is how you break cycles that may have not been very positive for you. Death is all about change and transformation, though, so maybe you will get there. So good luck, and I wish you the best. And you definitely have somebody on your side, an ally here in the dog card and the bridge. I think it's a connection that will really help you.
So thank you for that.
And hey, Libra Cusp, you are up, and after Libra's Lisa, Jenna, and Jay.
Okay, and we have Libra Cusp question.
All right. Okay.
Go
You want to
again?
do that with
Yeah.
yours? All right.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Dominic. Good luck. Some of the cards to me today, as I've read for people, they just seem to be very kind of more on the ethereal, vague level. I just sense,
Some definitely
this
were.
definitely seems different than the vibe we had with our Thursday. And I just wonder if it's just we're all being affected by what's going on right now.
All right.
Oh. Amy, thank you, and you stay safe as well.
Yes, and if you're interested, check out our coronavirus predictions. I'm going to premiere that later tonight. It's not a live, it's just an uploaded video. Thank you. Stay safe yourself.
We did something that talks about, just to give you a little overview, the short term, what's going on right now and into the next 2 months with the virus, and then something that takes it a little bit more longer term. Well, it's sobering. There is definitely some hopeful elements to the reading, but it is very sobering. So I think check it out. And, knowledge is power is all I can say. Pound that table, Mr. O.
Thanks, Amy.
All right. So
I say it's leaning towards yes.
we have the Ace of Swords
That was at the
reversed.
bottom. That was at the bottom.
Pardon me?
You pulled it off of that.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like,
Two
huh?
aces in that.
Okay, the Ace of Swords reversed. Thank you. Thank you for that. the Ace of Wands upright. And you want to show that other one?
And the Seven of Cups reversed. So I would say that, yes, it sounds like that. And yes, it sounds to me also, too, like he is making a different choice. That's not his choice. There's another choice. I don't know if that choice is coming back to you. I don't know what that is, but there's
Oh, yeah.
choices. And
Looks like they definitely are choosing and choosing, and it seems as though since it's leaning towards yes, they're definitely going to leave. Well, they're not definitely, but they're leaning towards
He's leaving.
leaving that person.
and there's possibly choosing something different or someone different.
Maybe they realize that long term, this person is not going to work out for them. That's kind of what I'm feeling here is they're looking at all the options they have before them and wondering if this person really fits into their lives.
So let's go ahead and do a Lenormand. So I would have worked yesterday, but apparently our workplace closed to the public, so they decided I didn't have to come in.
Wow, look at that. That is the Path card again. We've had this earlier. It's kind of about choices once again, isn't it? And then we have the Lilies card, and I feel that, maybe this relationship might have been good on a physical level to some extent, but they need something else. They're ready to make a choice that is going to move them in a different direction. I really feel they're kind of closing in on leaving this behind.
Right, and it may be too that just they're looking for something that they feel is better, more compatible, more alike them. It may be a total package, not just a physical attraction, but maybe maturity on certain levels, things like that.
It might also mean that they realize now maybe they made a rather immature choice to begin with. Maybe they weren't thinking about being, in their best, they weren't thinking about their best interests when they got involved with this person. Does that make sense at all? Because that's what we see here right now. I don't know. Maybe if they still look like they're pretty close, something is going to change that.
You'll have to let us know how that works out.
Yeah, you're going to have to let us know.
We're
At
sort of
least,
seeing it's happening. It's going to happen.
the cards aren't always right, but I sense
True.
that's what we're looking at here.
True enough. A snapshot in time.
Yep. All right, Libra, that's what we have for you, and I hope that helps. And Lisa, you are up. And after Lisa is Jenna and Jay, and we close out the day.
We'll
I made
see.
that rhyme.
Oh, you silly.
I am silly.
Lisa, there you are. Okay. You want to use one of your decks? Mommy?
Yes, I do. No, I was just thinking about the question a little bit here.
I called you Mommy.
I know you did.
But you called
But
me
that's
Mr.
better
O.
than Madam, which I have warned you about. Do not call me Madam.
Okay, Boomer.
Ah. Oh, don't call me that either. Or you get it back. Because you certainly are one too.
I'm more of a boomer. I'm about middle of the baby boomers. The baby boomers are 1945 to 1964. I'm right about in the middle of that.
I know. Yeah, we are. See, we're getting testy with each other now. Uh-oh.
Last week...
How are we going to manage a quarantine? We'll be at close quarters for weeks, possibly.
I don't remember who it was, but somebody in our last chat room session said, I could watch you two all day.
And we were like, okay.
Oh, I was like, oh, we don't even want to watch each other all day.
Oh, come on now. So is this like a yes-no, correct, Amundo?
Will they find a new love soon?
Yeah. Let's see what we get. Aries versus Scorpio. You got it, Jay. Well, I'll tell you this, it's leaning towards yes, but I don't think it's going to happen very quickly, and I'll explain why in a minute. We have the Ace of Wands upright, which is nice to have. We do have the Ace of Cups, but it was reversed. I'm showing it to you upright, but it's reversed. And then we have, in the middle, the Six of Swords reversed. And that's the key here, I got to tell you, Lisa. So basically, I know you said you've just been out, kind of just ended a relationship or a situation. And the Six is cautioning you that, stay where you are right now. Don't make a move too quickly. It's like things are not moving for you at this moment. And maybe it's because it's just too soon. You need to be a little bit stronger in yourself to be able to move on, and make sure you attract the right people towards you. But I believe it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen like really soon.
Well, I think your basic question was, will it happen soon? And so therefore, it is leaning towards yes. But I think I'm going to take what Banshee said and say that maybe it shouldn't necessarily, or it doesn't have to. And that maybe some of this is also just really water is about emotions. And this is the Six of Swords, which is a journey over water, but it's reversed. And so I'm thinking that this is just giving you a moment in time to consider more about that relationship that broke up, because I'm thinking that's what that card is telling me, is you have to maybe absorb all of those qualities about the breakup. Who did what, who did this, who did that. Look at all of that as critically and fairly as you can, maybe as you move closer towards
letting it go.
But I think that the opportunity is there somewhere. And I don't know if that's just because of your particular social situation or your age and where you go and, you're noticed. People notice you. You already have people on the horizon. I think it's clear that it could happen soon. Just the question is, should it?
Well, I'm not picking that up, but I understand now because that was the question. I feel it's leaning towards yes, but maybe the issue here I'm seeing is that it's saying, but maybe you shouldn't be moving too fast. Maybe that's the message of this card, is that maybe you should be taking it slower and taking stock. 5 months, eh? And you're lonely. Well, let me see what the Lenormand can add to this. Maybe I'm cray-cray. Well, and don't operate out of loneliness either, We have the dice. And then we have the book. Well, I don't know. I'm looking at this as, it's risky right now. I sense there are risks, and there's more you need, there's more you need to discover. It's almost maybe falling back to what Mr. O is talking about here, about finding out more about that relationship that you let go of. Even if it's been 5 months, you need to examine and explore more the lessons you can take away from that before you really move forward, because otherwise there is some risk or gamble attached. I mean, you could right now go out there and start a new relationship, but maybe without doing some more of this inner work that needs to be done, it could be risky.
Well, I agree with what Banshee said about, the book and the dice and what that means. I'm actually getting a glimmer from this other card, and I'm thinking this other person that you may come across may be a person like you, somebody who is also dealing with a bad breakup, and both of you maybe can find each other, but you both have to just be sure you're not necessarily commiserating for the wrong reasons, that you really have to find more compatible than just having suffered a bad breakup.
Well, and you know what? Mr. O is thinking it might happen sooner than not. What I would suggest to you then is, if he is right, then this card indicates to me that it's going to be somebody that's very close to where you are right now. I'm not going to say it's the person from the previous relationship,
No, I don't
but
feel
what I
that.
am going to say is you're not going to have to go far to find this new relationship. It may come out of your social circle, it may come out of your
I saw
work
that earlier.
environment. Yeah. So I think that might be the key to where things might come from. I'm just thinking that right now is a time to really reassess more, though. And things are just crazy right now.
Good luck.
Good luck. That's what we have for you right now,
Thanks for
Lisa.
dropping in.
And thanks for being patient. We've been really going on and on tonight, I think. And hey, Jenna, you are up. We are ready for Jenna. And then Jay, and we'll call it a day.
Oh my goodness.
I know we're late. It's okay. We got nowhere to go.
There is that.
But we are getting
There
tired
is
and my
that.
voice is getting hoarse. Thank goodness it's from reading and not like a virus or anything.
A general reading for the week. You
All
got
right.
it. Let's switch back to one of my decks.
Sure.
We'll go with the Nefertari. There's the Ace of Pentacles. Brilliant gold sheen.
All right.
You are welcome, Lisa. Thank you for saying that. That's
You
very nice.
are welcome. Thank everybody for hanging out with us today.
My
It's
final
been-
word for you, Lisa, too, is that think out of the box a little bit. That I got something that just said to me,
stepping
unconventional. So maybe just try something unconventional. Maybe that's where a person might be for you, is a place you wouldn't have thought of. Anyway, off we go.
I come back with a glass of lemonade at the ready. Yeah, I'm dry all of a sudden.
I'm a little dry.
One
too.
thing everybody should do is drink plenty of fluids during this period.
That's what they say.
Really important to hydrate. Anyway, but I think also to keep the virus at bay, they're recommending that as well. Not that it will stop you from getting it.
A lot of people have probably heard this, but they say that if you think you have some sort of condition, try taking a breath and holding it for 10 seconds. If you have the virus, it is very likely, if you're undergoing the actual illness, it is very likely you would not be able to hold your breath for 10 seconds without ending up coughing. And that has something to do with various tissues being inflamed or certain things that end up, obstructing the lung function. So that's one way of knowing.
Well, there's all kinds of information out there. It's hard to tell what is fact and fiction anymore. Wow.
Well, your general reading looks pretty interesting.
Yeah. You have the Two of Wands reversed, but you have the King of Wands upright, and you have the World.
They're
Woohoo.
good cards. Mostly good.
Yeah.
The Two of Wands reversed may indicate that some of your plans have some delays, but they're there. They're not disregarded. It's just really talking about some of the plans you've kind of set in motion, and also some of the projects that really you have more responsibility for. So things that you are really, it's not things that maybe you're part of a team effort on or that you're working with somebody else on. Things that are specifically your projects. You're just going to have to make some delays on them. Maybe you're waiting for something to happen for that. But with the King of Wands, this does really show that there's a sense of control over these things, and that also too that the role you're playing, or somebody that you're drawn to, somebody whose energies you're trying to involve yourself with, involve a sense of leadership, but also a sense of attraction and worthiness. Somebody who's a really good person who's beneficent to others in certain networking, growthful, enterprise kind of ways. Somebody at work who can help you. Somebody who's a counselor maybe. Then finally, the World card. The World card is, generally speaking, a sign of perfection. A lot of it has to do with feeling like you have really achieved your goals. And so it's kind of a reflection in a way of what the Two of Wands is, although usually it's more a reflection of the
Right.
Two of Wands if it was
Upright.
upright. But in a sense, it sort of is framing the idea that you have this ability or that you can do this thing or that you just need to find those people who can help you with those capable people who are worthy and helpful with enterprise and projects.
It looks as though, there's going to be some glitches, some little obstacles or delays, like the Two of Wands indicates, but that you have things under control. You know what you want to do, you know what you want to get done, and this shows a cycle completed, that you actually complete the work and you're ready to start a whole new cycle. So I see what you're saying there about now your art store on Etsy, and so that might very well be indicative of this. There might
Not,
be.
I don't think this is going to happen next week, but I
No.
think that a lot of what you're doing is focusing you towards that.
And I think that maybe what's saying is you are getting ready to go. You are ready to go and start this new beginning all over again. The world is like the end, but yet it's the beginning again, because once you've achieved and completed your cycle, we're ready to start another fool's journey. And
Good for you.
so that's absolutely what I see here. This is very positive. Let me do a Lenormand for you, Jenna. And planning ahead's important. The King of Wands is somebody who really knows how to manage an enterprise, like you're speaking of. So I think that's very positive. Shows that you're going to get this on the ground in the right way.
Yeah, that's really like a networking person, an enterprising person.
Yes. Well, now what am I going to say? Now I've got the cross. And I've got the bear. The bear is often a mother figure, and I don't know, it's possible that you might have to nurture somebody through a difficult time. This may have nothing to do with your enterprise whatsoever. I sense this is something else that is coming up here, but this could also have to do with your resources. Maybe you've been very disenchanted with the way things have been as far as, your resources goes. And I think that's coming to an end now. You can say goodbye to that. You can realize that some better times are coming.
Well, another thing too would be that maybe it does connect to some of the other things we've seen in the sense that in making way for your other projects, you have to end some things that you're doing now. And so maybe you have to just really figure out what is your load, what can you manage. And so some of that also leads into the idea of
Excuse me.
your empowerment because you're choosing to end something so you can really focus on empowering the vision you really have, which could be
I
that
see what
art
you're
story.
saying there. And so this could definitely hearken, excuse me, to that situation. There's a little bit of grief or disappointment and sorrow over whatever was done to cause the falling out. I think that definitely could be indicated here. Especially if you felt this person was kind of a valuable person in your life.
I think you'll be able to do that. I think you just need a little more time or let them have a little more time. Alrighty.
It's possible. I don't see anything that would preclude, amends. Yeah, I think it's possible you could get back, but that's a question for another day.
Alrighty.
So I have to let you go on that one, Jenna, and we're on Jay right now, and we're closing out the day with you, Jay. What you have for us today?
Yes, we need a real challenging kind of reading that only you can give us.
Okay. All right.
Uh-huh. I
Let's
know what you're
check it
talking about. Interesting. You're welcome, Jenna. Now, don't you and your father live far apart? Doesn't he live up north and you're more down south or something like that? Or is he down in the area with you guys? Good night, Kelly.
Hey, have a good night, Casey. See you on Twitter.
Best wishes. Stay healthy.
Oh, you must have known I was done shuffling.
How could I not know? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that's what you said before. So is the father down there, or is he just somebody that somehow is in your environment? Not the father, the friend of your father. Would you say that your friend or your father's friend is maybe reevaluating aspects of his life? I just dropped the judgment card and it was neither reversed nor upright in a way.
The friend is up north with the father.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I dropped a card that makes me feel like this person is undergoing a rejudgment or reevaluation of their own life.
Sorry.
Have you known this person for, a long time or Oh,
Wow, they're all reversed, Jay. So maybe some of your, feelings about this person or suspicions might hold out. We have the Knight of Swords reversed. We have the Seven of Wands reversed. And we have the Three of Wands reversed. It's interesting that we have swords and wands. These are kind of contentious cards, I think, when they're reversed. On the one hand, you have a lot of fire type energy that's kind of turned on its head. And on the other hand, you have this logic and critical thinking kind of energy that's also turned upside down. So what do you say, Mr. O?
well,
I'll let you go.
This reverse knight may be somebody who has a destructive edge or a tarnished edge of some sort. Maybe they might have been a better person, but maybe now they're not as good of a person as they used to be, that they tend to just bring more dissension with them kind of thing. Now, what's that one? The Seven of Wands?
Seven of Wands reversed. It's kind of like I don't know if this is right or not, but this is just what popped into my head. I almost feel like they look down on you.
It could be that maybe they feel you don't know how
Meet
to
some
take care of yourself, or you
standards
don't have
or something.
ability to be viable on your own, or you're not really reliable. It does seem like that's what they're thinking about you, I think. And then that's the three there, right?
Yep.
And with that one though,
Well, I feel as though
they don't
go ahead.
there's some delays going on, and either they feel there's delays with you, that they don't feel you're achieving your goals, or they're sort of looking down on you that regard. I don't know, maybe they're an extension of your father in a way, because I know you don't always have a good relationship with your father too.
Well, I'm kind of looking at the Knight of Swords and the Three of Wands together somehow here. I feel that, they feel that the direction that you're taking your life in doesn't meet particular standards, that they hold. There's something that they feel
I get that more from this card.
I really get it from this card. I don't know why, but it's
Well, I
kind
get
of
the
like
same feeling though.
maybe it's because usually with the Seven of Wands, you have somebody standing above the opposition, and when it's reversed, it's the opposite. The opposition is standing above you, and therefore I feel they are looking down at you. That's just kind of the way I'm looking at it, because you're asking what their intentions are. And so I think their intentions are not positive.
Right. Well,
Like
I
maybe
sort of felt
towards
that way
your
with that one too.
like maybe towards your father, they're trying to leave him with a more negative impression of you.
It could be too, but I also feel too that they're just sort of indicating, like you're not successful by their standards too. That kind of goes along with that your investments or your enterprises are just failing or not working in terms of how they look at that.
Yeah, that's a really interesting reading with these the wands and the sword. Really?
Not very clear, though I sense that in the way you asked the question. But see, the only thing I saw with that was when I dropped the judgment card, and I thought that maybe they were reevaluating their life, like maybe they didn't realize certain things about themselves, and now they are.
Well, Jay, if it wasn't a before I get to the Lenormand, I wanted to just address that. If it was you thinking of a romantic sense there, this person would only be thinking of taking advantage.
Yeah. This also doesn't sound like they have good intentions.
Yeah. So what I drew first was the mountains and the garden, which is a very interesting card. What it's telling me is establishing some kind of connection with this person. There's a lot of baggage attached and obstacles and things that maybe you wouldn't want to go there.
That's what it sounds like to me. It would really be like maybe they see in you a way out of some of their problems, or that there's something that they want to get by on with, perhaps. But their problems need to remain their problems. You don't need to take on anybody else's problems.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that could be very well what he's saying here. I sense that there is some roadblocks and obstacles and opposition here, and that you don't really want or need right now. And I definitely think that if you're thinking something could go more along the lines of, excuse me, a romantic thing, it's just not in the cards.
No, and it would be an inverse relationship or friendship where there would be inequality on some level or a number of levels.
Yeah, that's what we see. I can't say what the other readers are seeing, but like we have said before, the tarot is a snapshot in time, and so they may have caught a different moment. And
I think it's possible that maybe this person is going through that kind of situation where they look that way, and so therefore they look at you as somebody they know that maybe they feel they might be able to be comfortable with, but I don't really feel it's something that should be relevant for you. I don't see how this would do anything for you, and that I'm suspicious about it myself.
Yeah, I don't think it benefits you in any way, this relationship. Or this person. So I would just say, I'm not saying they're necessarily a bad person, but I think that, maybe the combination of your energies would not be good.
And, with based on what we've read and what you've told us about your relationship with your father and stuff, I just would question that. So you were, wise to ask us and, let us know if there's more turns out there that we should know or that you could, tell us about.
Wow, we almost made it a half hour into overtime.
Sure feels like it.
So we are done. And I hope that helped, Jay. I know it's a little bit nebulous. You may want to ask another question next time in this area and see what we can find out. Just maybe either something more in general about this person, so we can delve more into what makes them tick. I don't know.
But join us next Thursday, everyone, if
Yes.
you wish. We're on at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, check out our YouTube channel for other content.
2 videos are coming out this week. The coronavirus first, and our monthly modality messages will be out later this week. Oh, there's 3, because then there'll be Oberon's emotional exchanges on Friday.
So, yeah, Jay, maybe you want to check out your astrology on that one,
Yep.
too, and we'll see what happens with that. But anyone, yes, you're welcome to check it out.
And we will see you on Thursday. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.